was born different. He was born with crippled hands and crippled legs. He has been crawling ever since he was born. Though he is this disabled, he says that cannot stop him from living life to the fullest. He was told by girls that he is incomplete and therefore cannot get a wife. He later got a wife who loves him so much. The wife, after losing her first husband, she lost hope and was depressed. She was about to commit suicide. There came this man who restored hope and made her feel alive and loved again. She says her husband is a God-given gift from heaven. They share each and everything. Meet a family with a love story that shocked everyone. In a family of 11 children, he found himself when he was the only one disabled. He struggled with life. He has a wife and 3 children. He shares with us more of his life.
nisanze gutya mbana n'ubumuga ariko ikintu cyo kwiheba kuvuga ngo ndiheba ngo nuko mbana n'ubumuga ntibyigeze bimbaho.
I was born different and found myself this way, but this did not make me lose self-confidence. I had always associated myself with other children in doing almost everything. I could even join others playing football, but for me, I could use hands instead of feet. I have always tried living life to the limit despite this impairment. I work and try to do everything. Though I have no hands and feet, I ride a bicycle. Around 1990s, that's when I decided to shift from villages and come here to cities, to see at least whether I could get what to depend on, then provide for my personal needs. Living a village life has always been so challenging and so difficult to me because mostly in villages no one can employ such an impaired person like me. This man says that though he was born different, he has always considered himself to be a normal person, which is what enabled him to live a life without limits.
Ariko ntumva morale yose morale ngira ntumva ari nk'iy'abantu bazima.
I always have courage as that of people without any body deformity or disability. Later, I joined Scouts. From there, my morale and confidence were boosted. It's now been 3 years living with this beautiful wife of mine. We met and I had to tell her that I have feelings for her. I told her I love her. She took her time and thought for it. Then, like in 1 month, she called me on phone and asked me to meet. When we met, she said yes and agreed to be my wife. But before this one, I had approached many girls, but having this disability, seeing that I have no hands and no feet, they would see me as a person who is not able to do anything in the society. They could find it risky to have such a husband like me. Most girls would ask me how I dare dating them, yet I'm incomplete, they said. Now I'm thankful that after many rejections, my woman came and saved me from all those who doubted what I can. We now have a family with 3 children. Though I have these children, I have no work. I have to go on the streets to earn a living and beg. If I'm lucky enough, I get what we depend on for the day. If not, we all have to know there is nothing to eat, then sleep hungry. The little I collect day by day, I go on saving. Then at the end of the month, I pay house rent. Our house is so small, it's just a living room and 1 room, but that's all we can afford paying. All 3 children sleep in the living room, and we as parents sleep in the remaining room. This man says that crawling has always been a problem and says if there was a way by which he could get a wheelchair, the wheelchair would have a bigger and better impact on his day-to-day life. He says he was not lucky enough to have a better education career because he only went to school for 1 week in his entire life, and that was when he joined primary 1. The school was located very far in an environment full of stones that would make him have many wounds as he crawled to school. It's now been 3 years since living together. We met this husband shortly after I had lost my first husband. My first husband's leg got seriously injured, and then he was taken to the hospital. His condition was so critical and worse that he had to spend 7 years at the hospital under treatment. I spent all 7 years with him at the hospital. Doctors did whatever they could in saving him, and he had multiple surgeries, then given a leg implant. From there, we had to go back home. A few days after we came home, the leg exploded like a bomb. He immediately lost his life, and we had to bid farewells to him and put him to rest. That was back in 2013. Then I lost hope and somehow lost the meaning of life. I could not imagine living a life without him. I started drinking too much. I was desperate for beers. This man came to me when I was acting crazy and said, "I love you." I saw the light inside him and felt I needed love, and he was ready to let me feel loved once again. He came to my side when I needed someone to be by my side the most, and he was the real one. To me, the disability was not a barrier, yet he was committed to loving me. I treat him with respect. I can admit he saved my life. I had lost hope and I was soon committing suicide. But this man came from heaven and saved me. I had made drinking a habit. He said, "If you want us to build a strong family, please don't drink that much." And I stopped, hence starting our love journey. And now we live a happy life as a wife and husband with 3 children. The woman says that though they love each other, but they are so poor. They have no land, no money, and nowhere to cultivate, yet this is what they would depend on in this village. They are both unemployed, and affording food for their children is so difficult. Now the rent is due, and we don't have what to pay the landlord. The landlord said he's giving us only 15 days. If we fail paying, he will evict us from the house, and we have nowhere to go. It's been 3 months without paying rent. Life is so difficult here. The husband is disabled, but same applies to me. I have internal disability. Even to be speaking with you is because I took some pills in the morning. I have an unknown disease that makes me become like a tree. In such a case, none of my body organs function. Even speaking becomes a problem. I'm thankful that at least today I'm feeling a bit okay. Though life is like this, they all collaborate in everything. They go in the field together, cultivate together, and share every work happily together. They live a happy life despite having such a difficult life. This man needs a wheelchair, and you can help him get a wheelchair by contributing via the GoFundMe link found in description and pinned in top comments. Strength does not come from winning. The truth is, we all face hardships of some kind, and you never know the struggles a person is going through. The hardships that you encountered in the past will help you succeed in the future. Thank you for watching. I'm Elijah, and this is Afrimax English.